What's up? Tuesday afternoon, just a little bit after lunch. I'll go down here and walk around, show you guys some cool stuff. But I'm up here in the skunk lair. Dude, I have got like the sickest office that I've ever been in. It turned out freaking slick. So, in here getting some pump stuff. Tinker, this is my little tinker spot. We'll change this TV out. It ain't near big enough. We need a big TV over here. Can't be playing with this little bitty stuff like this. This got to get bigger. So we don't use it, but we're gonna put a coffee bar over there. Little hangout spot here. We have been known to light a cigar or two in this area. Now this is cool. We've got some of the drawings from different project stuff there. So, what's up, TCs? What's up, dude? You were on Aaron's live last night, wasn't you, bro? Got some of the pump parts on this. Aaron he had this made, sent it to me. It's a canvas drawing. I love the crap. It's just so cool. It's got some of the CAD drawings and stuff. Well, let's go out here to the shop floor. I wanted to show you guys. I'll flip the camera, hold down. We'll go down the stairs. It's a little loud. See what's going on today on a Tuesday. The guys are working, getting ready for UPS to show up. We're the last stop of the day. There's Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hello, Cody.
General manager. He's doing general managing things, except really he's shipping.
Shipping today.
I gotta hire me another hire here to get Brian back in the office. A lot of hose reels going out. Some chems going out. Lots of chems. All that'll be gone, and we probably got about another 30 minutes. So we're trying to send out a few hundred orders yesterday. Got to do a few hundred a day, a couple hundred. So we order fill out of these dated bins, and then we've got our fast fulfill stuff and Amazon stuff that gets sent out quicker. What's in the needs attention box? Normally this is anything we're waiting on parts for, but the boys, Micah's like me. He don't like working with stuff in his pockets, so he's offloaded all of his cool stuff. I like that. Got some chems over here, just some singles and stuff. Stuff we grab, onesies and twosies. Box that up. We got a Smart Blend Pro going out. Check that out. That's cool. What you got over here, Nick is working on something new. So this is a flimsy little shelf, ain't it? Dude, this is a shelf, bro.
Awesome, the prime shelf right here.
Bro, this is a freaking shelf. So this is this is probably something we're gonna start selling, which is sort of a pre-made template. We may shrink it down a little bit, but this is gonna hold pumps down here and manifolds, and then switches will go on the side. So this right here, but this was made for a reason. It's going in this enclosed trailer right here. But we haven't done a lot of enclosed trailers I actually haven't done any for the last 5 years because they're just a pain in the butt to build. This customer here got lucky because he ordered this trailer, and he didn't order all these upgrades on it, but me, being me, I said, I don't even know if this dude, I don't know if he even knows he's getting all this stuff, but he's gonna get more than he paid for, because I wanted to show what we can do on an enclosed trailer. So we're gonna be offering enclosed trailers in the future. We've never done them because I hate building them. They're very slow and it slows production down. So we're trying to get some template stuff down where we can roll heavy like we like to roll, but also offer these because we get a ton of requests for enclosed trailers. But that panel that Nick's working on over there is gonna go right here on the wall. So we painted the wall with 4 coats of exterior, and we epoxied the floor, and then that panel will mount here. Tanks are dropping in these stainless steel pockets. These boxes are bolted to the floor. Tanks drop in the box, and then a strap. The strap's kind of just for looks. The strap will run down and down, just really for looks. And Jeff's building out this stack kit, full 18s, bolted to the floor. Jeff, is the stack kit gonna move anytime soon?
Not unless you tear this trailer out.
You have to total the trailer. It's bolted. Same thing on the other side to the wall, and then 8 bolts in the floor, rock solid on stack. So feed reel, softwash, pressure will be down here. His 8 gallon minute's going to go back here on a box, a really nice stainless box. Fuel tank will go over here, and so there's his, got a nice Bayer stainless box, act as the battery control box, and his pressure washer will sit on top. But this thing, my point here is these tanks, bleach, water, surfactant sits in the middle. We're going to mirror that on the other side. He hasn't put them down yet. So he'll have water, those will Siamese with 2 inches of plumbing, and then it'll go under the trailer, Siamese to this water tank with 2 inches of plumbing. So he'll suck out of these tanks. These tanks over here are reserve automatic flowing, so they're all tied together. That means the middle of this trailer will be completely cleared out clean, and you can walk through it. But he's still got 300 gallons of water sitting right over the axles, perfectly balanced, bolted down in stainless boxes. It's as solid as you can build it, as much flow as you can stand. You don't need more than 300. And it's going to be very accessible. We added some lights up top. Nick did that yesterday, accent lighting, put him a secondary switch in there. So very nice trailer. We're gonna put some of that anti-slip pads on the ramp and through the middle. And then in the front, we're also gonna be putting a V-nose cabinet in the front that's made for an enclosed trailer. You guys have seen those before. It'll sit in the front for storage. So it's gonna be very, very, very slick unit when he gets when we get done with it. And again, all the plumbing run under the trailer, fastened up pretty tight to the floor, so it's not like hanging down, but it's clean install, clean. We don't play. We sent out a lot of equipment during Serious Starter. That was last weekend. We had 5 attendees to pick up equipment while they were here. So we sent out 3 trailers and two trailers and 3 skids. Ty's over here tinkering around on some valves and stuff. And this is new as well. So Super Mini, we sent the first one of those out last week. Omar, you watch this, brother. I'm glad you got it. He's a good dude. And then this is the second, which we're still in some prototyping. It's kind of laying stuff out. So we changed this a little bit. These boxes are now just made to the frame, custom lower, not on a pallet, custom box down there on the bottom to work off of. This goes way up on the tanks, and then we've got a sight glass cut in there for visibility to your levels. We are going to cut chem on this side and water laser cut on this side, and then the surfactant tank will have its own pocket and it'll be cut out as well. Bulkhead access for the pressure washer, which will go here. You can see how all this falls out. This is a stainless steel buyer's box, really nice. Plumbing access will come through here, real clean install. Manifold will go here, switch right there. The tanks, it's just it's perfect. You see that is an exact fit for the hose reel. So kind of got lucky with that, the outer dimensions there. And then stainless box in here. This will get a placeholder pump for right now, but eventually these will all come with Super 8. So anybody that's buying a Super Mini right now, you'll get a Super 8. As soon as we get them, we'll just ship you one. So it'll have a temporary pump on there that works just fine, but it ain't a Super 8. So we'll get those in and just ship you one out. You won't have to really do anything. It's pre-plumbed and pre-wired, so voltage is already 24 volts. So that's cool, dude. Super Mini will be probably a slightly easier build for us than the old school Mini. Try to make things like that. If you can make it in the engineering phase, the design phase, then it turns into Legos. It's much easier to build. That's how you get to be the biggest builder. You don't turn every build into a 9-day damn build. You got to get it to where it's right, the quality's there, but you can do it quickly, as quick as possible. It's lean manufacturing. Yeah, dude, got some Easy Maxes here. I think most of these are sold. Maybe 1 or 2 of these available, I don't know, but I know some of these have been purchased over the weekend. This one's waiting to get picked up. These 2 over here are available, but I think he's got a buyer for one of them. Somebody needs to buy those. I'm tired of looking at them. Those are on hands. Just pre-built them during the winter, have them sitting here. But everybody that's calling in buying right now, they want their own, they want to pick their stuff, which I get it. Doesn't matter, but whatever. Tanks, lots of tanks here. We got our verticals, our big water tanks. These are the Southeast Softwash tanks. These are our tanks that we have molded. We own this mold. It's a really nice tank, really thick tank. We have made a change to these. So once we go through this pile, there'll be a slight difference on the next go around. Let me spin it and show you what we got. So hopefully, probably next month, I'll have some here. This is the top of the tank. We've added a raised section here. So it'll bubble out and it'll go down the top here. So across the whole top, and it comes up a little bit and goes back out. What that's gonna do is give you an access point for your bulkheads and all that stuff, to get them up out of the top. Brad, let me answer your question. Crap online about UN pictogram to be legal. That's horse shit. You see this online. If you stay in the industry long enough, they've been talking about that shit for 20 years. So the DOT, here's the question. Legal to who? Who's enforcing tanks? Who is this? You know, you start reading all those threads. The question is, who the hell are they even talking about is going to get you? Well, the only governing body would be the DOT. The DOT does not certify tanks, and they're not completely wrong. So there is standards for going out on roadways with chemicals that are hazardous, and there are certain parameters of those tanks to be kosher, okay? Now, it doesn't matter if you stay below the threshold, but where guys get into a mess is they go above the DOT threshold, which is a pounds number. You translate that and you get a gallons number. That's why all of our tanks are below the threshold in the first place. So they're 90, you know, something gallon. They're about 97, 95 gallons. But we stay a little below 100 because that's what the math works out to, so that we don't have to fool with DOT compliance. And that's federal, so that's across the country. Now, your individual area, there's a lot of little regs, but as far as I'm aware, nobody's really regulating getting out on the road. What they're looking for is the chuck in the truck with a 275-gallon tote of bleach running down the highway with a $2 ratchet strap holding it down, and that is no good. The DOT does not certify tanks, but there are some parameters that will get you to a compliant tank there's not a certification from the DOT. So some of that you read, it's like, they're not exactly wrong, but they're not right either. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. AC Lockyer's got a really good video on his channel, Softwash Systems channel, where he kind of explains that their tanks are compliant as well. They make their own tanks. Pretty much any chemical tank you get is going to be compliant, but you can't use a water tank. So these are PCOs, which is pest control operator tanks. You can't get a water tank and run chemicals up and down the road without being out of compliance. We do sell these. So you can grab them on the website. They're very nice tanks. When you put all this molding, this is a strap mold, but what it does, it also reinforces the long side so it doesn't want to bow and swell. But yeah, so you got to have a graduation. You got to have a certain thickness. It's got to be set to the specific gravity and compliant to the specific gravity of the chem you're going to put in there. And you've got to have a date window basically burned into the tank. So, and there's, you know, somewhere you'll find it on there. Our tanks are made by a tank factory, and so we have been assured that they are compliant for what we're doing with them. It probably don't make a damn, but you don't want to be that guy running up and down the road, you know, with a big toad or 3 barrels of bleach, because you'll see this online as well. You'll see guys say it's a 119-gallon limit to stay compliant. That's not actually true. What they did is they took the pounds number, which I think is like 1,001 pounds, and they did the math backwards to get them a gallon, because that's all we care about. You know, it's like, what's the gallon number? Well, the problem is they did that math based on the weight of water, and bleach is a good bit heavier than water, so you have to do the math based on bleach weight, and you actually get just under 100 gallons. So that's why our tanks, we call them a 100-gallon tank, but they're actually just a couple of gallons shy of 100. And here's the deal, you should be placarded up anyway, but if you're not crossing DOT threshold minimums, it does not matter. You just don't need to be hauling 100 gallons of bleach and 65 gallons of degree, you know, you get to where you technically should be running. We see this a lot. I'm going on a tangent here, but let's look down here. Okay, there's a southeast trailer. There's 2 southeast trailers, and then that's our shop trailer. We'll see guys build systems on big deck over trailers like that. Okay, like whatever, but here's the thing. That thing is nowhere near gross motor vehicle weight compliance. These dudes are so over the top that they're into territory where if they get stopped one day and they live in a crazy state, you know, that's enforcing that stuff a lot, that they're gonna be way over GVR. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep our truck, trailer, skid, combination of things that's going on the road as compliant as we can. So we're not a big fan of building cray systems because number one is you don't need it anyway. It doesn't make a damn. It's like those guys don't know. They think they need all that, and then they don't. So it's a waste of money. It's a waste of overbuilding something that you can't pull around a subdivision. You know, there's like probably 2% of us pressure washing guys out there that really can justify those kind of monster builds. And in that case, you know, how many of those guys are running DOT logs? Are they running logs? Because like you're supposed to be. But, you know, do they have a number on the side of the truck, a DOT number? Probably not. But, you know, they ain't thought nothing about it. So you want to stay compliant. This is a new project we just did. We opened up, this was all woods, and we opened this up and made us a extended parking lot. So now we can come down the hill. Eventually they get the rest of my gravel hauled in. We'll be parking down here, and I got some concrete steps getting poured so we can walk up the steps back into the building. That area back there is getting enclosed, so we'll be able to double our rack space, put racks on this side as well, and hold a lot more chemical back here and enclose that. Instead of just being a lean-to, we'll close it all in, and that'll just keep the weather out and stuff like that. It's fine like it is, but I want it to be enclosed. And then hopefully we break ground by the end of the year back here. So we've got as big as this parking lot is. Y'all can kind of see how big this is. It's pretty good size. We've got that much land again back there. So we're gonna try to clear that off, do a little grading, and start on our big HQ building. The upper building will become a showroom, retail center, and training. And then down here will be all production, truck traffic. We're getting a lot more truck traffic, you know, dozens and dozens of trucks a week. So we really need to kind of plan for that. That way they can get in and get out, and it's not a huge cluster every day. So you see sort of how big it is. We got a lot of space. We can do about I think we're looking at about a 20,000 square foot building, and then that up there is about 8,000. So we'll have, if we enclose the back, we're going to gain another few thousand. So we'll have about 30,000 feet of commercial under roof real estate, and we can start building equipment down here. And then it's all built, and it goes up there to be picked up. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be a pretty big project, big building. I've always wanted to have a big building. Like, man, I need smokestacks. Aaron's got me on this kick about smokestacks. He said, you ain't shit, you ain't got no smokestacks. Like, well, I don't really need any smokestacks, but now that you mention it, it does sound ubiquitous. I feel like I might need to be prolific. I'm gonna get killed. The damn limb's gonna fall on my head. It's super windy today. Crazy windy out here. So our neighbors back here, they got a bunch of hunting land. It just goes forever back that way. Like, no joke, I'm kind of worried about getting smushed with a limb. Yeah, so we'll have to grade a little bit. It's on a little bit of a drop, but it ain't too crazy. It's nothing that can't be fixed. I've seen them grade worse and put a friggin' Chick-fil-A on it. So all this will be building at some point, and that'll get us about probably 16,000 square feet of production space and a few thousand square feet of bullshitting space. So that'll be cool. We'll start doing trainings and stuff down here. We need the space. A lot of this stuff is big. Everything we build is big. Skid frames, tanks, trailers, they just take up a lot of space. So we got 3 acres here. We've just only ever been using the first acre up there, and it works, but it gets crammed, man. You had Sears Starter, we got like 20 dudes here with vehicles plus our guys. So Well, y'all ever gonna go through? We are going through, dude, with the used equipment process. But here's the deal. We ain't buying your equipment back. You didn't read the form, probably. I ain't mad at you, hell. I wouldn't have read it neither. But here's what everybody thinks. Well, hell, Southeast gonna buy my skid back. No, ain't what said. It's a consignment program. And number one, it's gotta be Southeast equipment. And number two, it's got to be in good shape, and we're not buying it back, because what would happen is everybody would use me like a rent-a-center. They'd get them a skid and see if it pans out, and then when it don't pan out, because they ain't gonna do no marketing, they would say, hey, buy it back. I ain't buying a damn thing back, but it is a consignment program, because we have a lot of guys that want to get in used equipment, and we've made so much equipment that there's sort of a secondary market for equipment. But I am not the get out of jail card. So me buying it back, I would instantly go bankrupt, because 200 people would say, I'm just gonna get out of it, fold the business up. No, we'll consign it, but that may not be feasible. You know, if you're really far away, you gotta bring it here. So there's like a lot of, don't buy read. It's all listed there. Don't buy read that shit. Well, they can buy it back. No. Almost don't even want to fool with it, because it's a lot of work to bring a guy's piece of equipment in, set it on the yard, and then somebody wants to buy it, we sell it, we flip it. Here's my problem. There's 800 fucking things I could do, and which one am I going to do? Like, do I push my foot on the used equipment? Do I push my foot on the skunk test pilot program? Do I push my foot on the gas pedal of pumps? Do I build a build? Like, well, you gotta pick about 3 of these damn things and just do that, because there's a million you could do's, and there's like 4 that you can't actually get done. So the used program is a thing, but we probably didn't call you back for a reason. It may have been that you were, I don't know what the reason would be, but there's a bunch of parameters you have to hit for it to work for you and us. But check on it again. We've sold a couple of used equipments. I videoed them, but I didn't post them, because I know I'm opening a can of worms of 1,000 people not really realizing what the program is. Wait a minute, it's consignment, so I'm gonna have to set it here and hope it sells. Yeah, because why would I buy it and sit on it and then me hope it sells, right? So like, it's doable. Like, there's a way we can do it where everybody gets what they want, but then they want me to buy it back too for about the same price they bought it for. So I'm not saying that's you, I'm just saying these are all the things that happen when you launch a program like that. It's like nobody's gonna actually listen to what you said the program was, and it's hard to navigate it. So hard to make sure everybody don't feel like they got screwed, but we can't fool with it and put 6 man hours into it to make, you know, $800 on the sale. We can't do that either. So it's just hard to balance, you know. It's like, it's hard to figure out what makes the most sense for everybody in that situation, because then, you know, it's like the dude could just sell it on Marketplace, but it may sit there on Marketplace and languish forever. It may never be able to sell it. So if it comes here and we go through it and we certify it, we're going to go back through the system, fix anything that needs fixing, you know, and then certify it, then it'll sell. Like, we've got a sales team here that will sell it, but it may just not be to where we can work that out. Like a dude from Texas, is it worth him driving that thing all the way back out here from Texas? You know, it's like, I don't know. If he wants to, he can, but it's just things to navigate. Yeah, dude. What up, Reggie? Bro, it's hot out here already. Freaking Al Gore and global warming. You believe that? That jackass has got it. It feels like it's 80 degrees. That's probably why, dude. And, you know, my guys probably should have still got with you and let you know that and talked you through that. So I'll touch base with them. We need to be reaching out to everybody that, you know, shoots us an inquiry at least, and kind of sussing it out with them. But yeah, that's what it is. Hope y'all having a good day, homies. There's another trailer. We're fixing to start on that one. Brad, no, dude, that's a good point. I'm getting too close to the building. It's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. So Brad's talking about mini skid with a Super 8. Yeah, it ain't gonna be that bad, dude. So what you're gonna do is basically you're going to upgrade your plumbing on the suction side. Thankfully, you got batch busters, so you don't have to change the valves. You're just talking about some cheap plumbing pieces, upgrading those from 1/2 inch to 3/4, or you could go 1 inch on it, but 3/4 on the suction, and then you'll have to change your discharge hose on your reel. So that's all simple, bro. That's easy to get to on a mini skid. Very, very, very simple. The only thing that may be a little annoying for you if you're not electrically inclined is stick another battery in there and wire them together to create 24 volts. You'll have to do that as well. This is all total about a 2-hour project in the driveway to upgrade you to the super pump, the Super 8. So everybody's getting a Super Mini, all that's already done. But the old mini skids, anything, any old, we'll go in here and look at a Gen 2, I think, because it's the same thing, same concept. So like this guy here, right? He's got two 12 volts. Here's a better example. Here's a 12 volt and a northern 24, okay? Well, he's already got 24 volts right there at that port, so he ain't gonna have to do anything for wiring. Both the Super 8 and the Sweet 16, they both run on 24 volts. So if he wanted to put a Super 8 right here and say a Sweet 16 over there, he wouldn't have to do anything on that one, but he would have to change this one to 24, which is nothing. So rewiring his box up. He would also have to change that discharge hose out. That's currently 5/8 for this pump. You put the 16 on there, that would need to go up to 3/4. That's easy too. Right there, easy to get to. 1/2 inch, if this was converted to a Super 8 on this one, he would have to, hey Gabe, go to hell. Let me tell Gabe Karen to go to hell real quick. There's other companies that do it cheaper. Well, your mom does it cheaper too, Gabe. But you know, I ain't on your mom's channel trying to talk shit about your mama. So, he'd have to change this over to 5/8 for, so you know, this is all hypothetical, but he could use that hose over here and then upgrade that one to 3/4. So it ain't too bad because all this stuff's easy to get to. Just like right there, this swap on the discharge reels, that ain't nothing. The plumbing back here is what would be a little aggravating, but the manifold, it's already ready because it's a batch buster, so you don't have to, that's a big blessing. You don't have to buy a whole new manifold. If you're running 1/2 inch, you could just change your couplers out. So that's saving you about $1,000 right there. James Bass, I figured you'd like that. Word on the street is you're buying wooden pallets that people build to mount reels. Wooden pallets that people build to mount reels. I don't know what that means, dude. I'm assuming you're making a joke, but it went over my head, bro. Yeah, it ain't gonna be that hard to convert existing stuff over to Super 8s or 16s. Gabriel Gallagher, I never winterized my equipment, now it's fucked up. Don't feel bad, dude. Listen, you and about 1,000 other people every year don't winterize, and then it's chaos in the spring. So don't feel bad. I have got videos. I'm not gonna do another one. There's videos on the tech support tab. It ain't gonna show you how to necessarily fix what you're looking at, but it'll show you how to, it'll walk you through fixing it. Just whatever's broke, replace it. That's pretty much it. But don't feel bad, dude. It happens. We've all done it. We've all done it. It don't mean you're a dummy because I've done it. But yeah, you got to know how to winterize, because it ain't like 10 minutes of winterization is worth an hour and a half of fix in the spring, bro. It just is. It's you got to winterize. So the good news is you have paid your stupid tax and you won't ever do that again. We've all had to pay it. You just forget. Like where we live, you know, it's pretty warm. So we don't think about it. Then you get that random cold snap and you're screwed. The guys up north, they don't normally have a problem with it because they're thinking about winterizing. You know, that's like a thing up north. It's a thing they have to do. Down here, it's too sporadic. We don't think nothing about it. Then you get that cold snap and you're like, God dang, all my junk froze. It'll be easy. Just fix whatever's cracked, replace everything out that's broke. South Florida sun, baby. Yeah, dude, I bet you're hot down there already too. Texas guys, Florida guys, tell me what temperature it is. It's gonna be a hot summer. These dudes are spoiled, bro. My guys are spoiled. We put air in the shop last year, or 2 years ago. Got 4 big units plus the big fan in the ceiling, and it'd be always feeling, you know, it'd be feeling good in here. So, all right, homies. Hope y'all having a great day, bro. It's a good Tuesday here. We got reservations at some kind of fancy restaurant tonight. I don't know why. We're 76 degrees. Yeah, that feels good right there. We're gonna be eating at the Botanic in Auburn tonight. So hope y'all are having a good washing day. I did go do me a little driveway this morning, so that was a quick couple $100 in the pocket. Heck yeah, dude. 20,000 square foot commercial roof. Hell yeah. That's great, dude. That's awesome. I think it's gonna be a good profitable year for a lot of guys though. Be a lot of money to be made. I'll show y'all Super 8 real quick. You don't see Super 8. That dude pissed me off. These people out there and build it cheaper. Well, yeah, no shit. A lot of people do a lot of things cheaper, more expensive. Who gives a damn? Can you cut this pump on for me? So we've got a prototypey Super 8, fire in the hole. Getting about 57 feet. It ain't the Sweet 16 now, but it is in its own right. You know, I can shoot it all the way across the shop this way. 57 feet's what I got in here last night, marking it off in the floor. And it's got enough, you know, you can rinse with this. You ain't gonna, it ain't the 16, but it is able to get on up there. So this is an impressive little Super 8, dude. It ain't no slouch. Shooting into the wind out there. It's a good bit of volume. Yeah, and it's in that small footprint, like, you know, the 7 gallon a minute stuff. It's that size. You can kill it. I can't let off because it doesn't have an active pressure switch. So. We got some motors on the way for the 16 and the Super 8. I'll probably get the 16 motors, the big motors, in first, and then the motors for the Super 8 be right behind it. So all those are custom. It ain't a motor you can just buy. So RPM and torque spec were things we had to have nailed in. Dude, you 25 years old, dude. I wish I was doing that when I was 25. Dude, it's nice. That 16 will make these churches, yeah, it's crazy. 16 will hit 5 stories. And we're not advertising it as 80, but it's pretty much 80. We've got the floor marked off here, and we can hit 77 in the floor, but I could hit 80, but I could start hitting my ceiling fan right there. But you don't get to see this guy often. He be in the shadows.
You on video?
Yeah, I'm live.
I'll be hiding.
I done told one of them go to hell already.
I'm a recluse.
This is the other part of Southeast Softwash. The brains behind the.
I don't know about all that.
We ain't never built shit in the driveway and loaded up by hand, dude.
No, sir. Pried them up with a 2x4.
We did. And look how good that looks. You know your trailer's built right because Jeff's got 2 pencils in his hat. We try to do it right, guys. That's why I don't take no shit off these guys talking smack. Like, you damn right we're expensive. We're supposed to be expensive. You damn right. Ain't trying to be cheap, you dumbass. You want some cheap shit, go buy it somewhere else. They smoke meth over there. We ain't trying to do that. You're supposed to pay for it, hell. Well, you got too expensive. Go to hell then. No, it ain't. It's like, so here's the 50-foot marker for the door back there. You shoot them that way because there's drains in the floor. So here's the 60-foot marker. And the northern tool, Dusty, I'll tell him you said, hey, Rig. 60 foot, the northern will hit this, like, I mean, just right at the door. Super pump, we get to go back. There's 70, we've run over it with a forklift. But we get to go back to about right here. And then 80, the shop's 80 foot. So I'm about one grown ass man step to calling it 80 feet. But the problem is, I start hitting that I-beam right there and I start hitting the fan. If I arced it, you know, where it needs to go to hit a smooth 80. So it's 80, but every time I try to do it outside, it's a freaking hurricane. You can't get no distance. It still shoots good, but it ain't, I can't get the 80 out of it because there's always a big wind. So yeah, it's cool, man. Shooting 75 plus feet out of an electric pump. And here's a cool thing, man. I ain't really told a lot of people. I've talked about it a lot. But with a Sweet 16 24 volt system, it's costing you about, it's less than $1 a day in electricity to run. And it's doing everything a gas powered pump thought about doing. So what are you guys spending a day in gas? Or a dude with a gas powered rig, what's he spending a day in gas? I mean, what, $10? You do that times the whole year, that's a couple, literally, you do the math, it's a couple $1,000s. So we're cutting that out and you're going down to like 60 cents a day or something. That's like the pump basically pays for itself every year in fuel savings. So that's pretty killer. If you were looking at gas powered versus Sweet 16, it's a free pump if you factor in the electricity versus the gas. Yep. Reggie Bryce said, hey.
What's up, Reggie?
Ready to be.
We out here looking at,
This is our life, looking at trailers.
that's what we do.
Look at stuff all the
Just look at it.
Yeah,
Crack
that
your head a
works.
little bit.
I know, dude. He said, no idea what you do, but it's too expensive. But here's why. All right, so like our trailer versus another company's trailer. And look, I'm gonna tell you, this guy designed this trailer. Designed the hell out of it. And there have been a lot of monkeys copy this trailer right here. Bro, Rusty Rooster's watching. He ain't working. To go in there. He watching YouTube. But anyway, go back to work. But no, so we do a lot of stuff here. Dusty, walk me around. They don't ever get to hear you on camera. Walk me around and tell me what all this little metal is and why. And is it necessary or is it just because we like being like that?
Most of it does serve a purpose, but a lot of it's just because we like being a certain way. So these bars going across here are just strictly for tie down points for straps and to hold the tank in place. You don't need that. Now a lot of guys will use metal straps, metal bands for their tanks, but apparently straps, just a strap won't do nothing. So
now they haul the whole country on
they'll
trucks with straps, but
you ever seen that picture of the tractor and the trailer flipped over in the median and the tractor was still on there? I think it was straps holding that on.
It was just straps.
But no, this is just for holding tanks in place. These are spacers for the tanks to keep them snug going this way.
So I noticed that this is not small metal. This is 2-inch tubing.
2-inch tubing.
Why? Because
Don't have to be. Some guys use angle. We like tubing. It just looks better.
Well, the trailer itself, when we buy them, the reason we buy this trailer over and over and over and over and over, like 1,000 of them, is because it's 2-inch tubing to begin with. Well, this is bigger. This is 2x3 on the outside runner. Brakes on one axle, tandem always. Why? Because anything less than that, apparently, if we build it now, it ain't enough.
It ain't gonna. You can't pull it in that configuration.
You cannot Softwash off of that. So we get the trailer in. None of this is on there. It's just a trailer. Pressure treated floor, and then we clean it, and then we add all the fabs. You got your ladder rack. Why is this flush here?
Some guys like to put advertisement up there so it makes a good smooth surface where they can bolt stuff to. You know, it has a phone number, logo, and stuff. Some guys will put it on the tailgate, but that's why that's out flush on the edge.
What are these panels here?
Those are for any configuration of mounting pumps, manifolds, depending on what we got on the trailer. Like this particular trailer, he's getting one 12-volt pump, manifold, another manifold. He was getting two 12-volt pumps, but that's what me and John was talking about. He wants to go to 24 volts. So,
right. So his other one will mount here.
We're gonna have to pop some holes in there
No
for
big
that.
deal.
Smart blend, you know, we started doing this, and that was Cody's idea, putting these panels up here, because it kind of gets to be a headache on some of the orders, going back and forth. You guys are getting different configurations. So this is just a blank platform for if the guy does decide to get a smart blend, it goes here. The smart stream come out over there. So these panels will stay here on every trailer going forward. Rack for your 24 volt, that comes on all of them. So if you ever decide to upgrade from 212 volts,
You already got somewhere to put it.
You got a panel there to set it on.
Well, if you're not going to use it, you can put a vice there or
Yep.
something else. You can put cigarettes or some kind of a vice.
Or if you decide to start a garbage company, you have your guy riding right there holding on, you know, hop off.
A very small guy.
Very small.
Breakaway box. So here's my point is, we got all this before it comes to this location to get assembled. So why is it expensive? Well, it's because it's right, and it's supposed to be right, and it don't, listen to me now, have to be cheap. Get that out of your damn head. Everything ain't gotta be cheap. It ain't gotta be cheap. You're talking about a thing that can pay for itself in the first month of running, like for real. And if you wanted to not hustle a whole lot, for sure the first quarter of business. We've got too many success stories of guys getting a trailer or skid and paying it off in the first 1 to 2 months. You know, 3 months in for sure. Like, that's just kind of like playing around. So here's the question is, if this can pay for itself in the first couple of months, why is it supposed to be cheap? Why can't it be, the ROI is so good that you don't, you just would rather, wouldn't you just rather be right?
And you don't have to worry about it.
You ain't got to think about it.
Worry about fixing that later down the road.
Justin French just came back and bought his second frame. He bought a trailer. We've had so many guys just repeat customers because they're putting a second rig on the road. It ain't gotta be. I don't like cheap, man. I don't like cheap. But there's places in life where, you know, it don't matter. There's definitely places where it don't matter. This is not a place where it don't matter. This is the thing that makes you a living. So if you want somebody to cut a bunch of corners, smoke a bunch of meth, and possibly go out of business and take $1 million worth of your money, that's fine. That's okay. You can do that shit. But if it ain't gonna be over here, it's not gonna go out of here halfway. It's got to be right. So yeah, don't cut corners on this. I don't care who you get it built from. Just pick a reputable company. Pick somebody that's not trying to look for. I told Jonathan this when he started being our sales guy. Good Lord, almost 4 years ago, sales, right? Do we need the sale?
No.
No.
Not necessarily.
We'll sell it to you. He'll sell it to you. But he's not scratching and clawing for the sale, dude. Like, we ain't poor. So we'll sell it to you, but we're not going to cut any corners is what I'm saying. We're just not going to do it. The integrity is I care too much to put something out and it not be right. So if anything, we overbuild it. But in this world, it kind of makes sense to overbuild it because you're dealing with pressure and chems and weight, you know, heavy going down the road. Why would we never sell a single axle? We have sold exactly about 2 single axles, but why did we get away from that like almost immediately?
It'll do it, but you're just at the limit. You know, you're hauling water, Kim, you're adding, on this trailer you're adding, I think, if you filled all your tanks up 1,900 pounds, so, you know, a single axle, you're pushing it. Plus, you just want to have a little overkill there.
Yeah.
You know, to have a little bit to play with. Plus, you know, like you said earlier, people in the industry, it ain't gonna work no way.
They're gonna talk crap about it.
They're gonna talk crap.
You almost have to build a granite slab. But you know, if you had a single axle, it'd be fine. But if you have a blowout, it ain't.
No.
Then that could suck. Like we will not make one of those just because. I don't want that even possibly coming back on us. So you got to take care of your stuff, but this is all primed, cleaned, primed, and Raptor line. So there's a lot of man hours in this trailer to get it to this point before we ever start bolting things to it, turning it into a trailer build. Guys, have a good Tuesday. I'm gonna go get me a Monster Rehab.